Announcement here. Michael Venom Page versus Kevin Holland has allegedly been leaked for the UFC 297 card. It was leaked by Full Set MMA, who accidentally took a picture of the UFC fight board for that fight card, and this card was listed on the main card just after Blachowicz versus Rakic 2 on the Duplessis versus Strickland card in January in Canada. Now, this is a very good matchup, very entertaining one, and it comes just hours after Michael Page came out with that statement saying he was flirting with the UFC, interested in PFL, and it makes sense. Ever since Bellator were absorbed by the PFL, MVP is not a Bellator champion, so he won't be involved in those PFL Bellator title unification bouts, whatever they are. But regardless, it still left fans wondering what's next for Michael Venom Page. He's an entertaining fighter, pretty big name. He had that BKFC fight with Mike Perry that he ended up losing, and it was a great fight though. And people were wondering, will we see him in BKFC again, or is he going to go back to MMA? I think he said that he would go back to MMA, and then ever since then, people have been wondering, will he sign to the UFC? It's been a question for a long time for Michael Venom Page, is if/when is he going to sign for the UFC? But, he's been in the Bellator fighting, not the best competition, kind of crushing for a while over there outside of his 2 losses and the win over Douglas Lima. But yeah, big fight announcement. Big fight for Kevin Holland. Big fight for MVP. Kevin Holland is a decently big name in the UFC. He's not a big, huge draw, but he's a pretty big name for UFC fighters, especially guys that are not in the top 10, top 5. So it's a pretty good fight for Michael Venom Page, and it would be a great win for both guys. If Kevin Holland's able to get Michael Page out of there, that's a big win. Same could be said for Michael Venom Page. If he comes in there and he beats Kevin Holland, shows that he can hang with guys in the UFC, at least guys in the top 15. As for the matchup, I prefer Kevin Holland. I think that he will take this one. I think that Michael Venom Page is a bit of a can crusher, and has been fighting not the best competition, as I just said previously, in Bellator. He's lost to guys like Logan Storley, guys like Douglas Lima, who are good fighters in their own right, but with all due respect, they only have ever fought in Bellator. They've never even reached the higher levels of the UFC. So if you're losing to guys that have never even made it out of Bellator, how do you expect to come into the UFC and start taking out ranked guys? I personally think that Kevin Holland will beat Michael Venom Page on the feet or on the mat. I do think Michael Venom Page is a good striker, don't get me wrong, but Kevin Holland's MMA striking is also very good. I know that Michael Venom Page comes from a point fighting karate background, but in terms of what works in MMA, I do think that Kevin Holland's style is a little bit better. And yes, Kevin Holland did lose to Wonderboy, but let's not kill ourselves here. Wonderboy is a much better striker than Michael Venom Page. If they were on the same caliber, Michael Venom Page would also have fought in the UFC and fought for a UFC title, but he didn't because he's not the same caliber as Wonderboy. I don't think he's close to the same. I think he's close in terms of the same style, but who's the more skilled kickboxer is Wonderboy, I think, by a country mile. Kevin Holland might try and stand with Michael Venom Page, but I don't know how smart that would be, but I think that he could hang with Michael Venom Page on the feet. I think the clearest path to victory would be to take him down, but even if they keep it standing, I don't think that it's going to be like Wonderboy versus Holland. I think that Holland's going to have much more moments. Holland's coming off the loss to JDM, but that was a close fight. JDM's a very good striker in his own right, so if you're going toe-to-toe with him, you are a good striker in my eyes. And, yeah, this is a good matchup, but early predictions, I'm probably going to go with Kevin Holland. I just wanted to make this video, get this one out there, because it was a pretty big, shocking announcement, Michael Venom Page versus Kevin Holland, big, entertaining fight, 2 pretty big names, and it just got leaked. So, yeah, I'm going to be dropping another video, hopefully on Thursday. That's going to be my breakdowns and predictions for the upcoming Fight Night card between Dariush and Sarukian. But for now, I hope you guys are excited for this matchup. Big news announcement. I just wanted to get a video out just to get a video out about the big leak